Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and a PMGG 777 beta tester. Welcome to a brand new cargo rotation in the Aerologic 777 freighter. Today we are going to fly from Leipzig to Dubai on to Hong Kong and then via Bangalore back to Leipzig. This entire rotation is going to be split into 4 videos, and the real world one goes about a day and a half for the airplane. Obviously the crews will have layover and stuff because, yes, humans sometimes need to sleep. I know that airline bosses don't like to hear this, but they actually do. And, well, we are also going to use the latest iteration of the Boris 777 Soundpack, which at the time of this recording is going to be version 1.2. So I'd say without any further ado, a quick word from today's sponsor, and then we'll get right into this. If you're looking for an air traffic control add-on that is not just doing your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like VFR, data link, and more, then this may just about be for you. We'll be using same tensions in today's video, so if you like what you're about to see, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And I suppose I don't want to know what that was, so let's get right into this. We're picking our airplane up at 6 in the morning here in Leipzig. We can see a tiny bit of light already coming up. Now let's get up those stairs and into our airplane. And here we are, our home for the next couple of days. So let's take a seat down here and start working on our airplane. We'll start with a little bit of basic stuff over here. That's getting the 802 aligned, voice recorder on. We'll also turn the logo light on. And then we can start with the technical acceptance of our plane. So first of all, let's do a recall over here and see what we got. And this is actually all looking expected. Our engine oil, well, we could probably refill it over here, then we don't have to do it in Dubai or Hong Kong. So we do have maintenance here, so let's just get him to refill that. So 26 quarts is looking just about fine. The hydraulic quantity is fine, oxygen pressure is good. Then we do the oxygen test on the left side, on the right side, as well as on the observer seat, since Aerologic does not do the layover in Dubai, but much rather you fly on to Hong Kong straight away, and for that reason we do need 3 pilots over here. Okay, so that's our general aircraft setup. Then let's go ahead and have a look into the electronic flight bag, where we can grab our flight plan. Now, looking down into this, we're departing Leipzig on a straight line down to the Black Sea, then across Turkey, Iraq, and the Arabian Gulf down towards Dubai. Looking into the significant weather chart, it's completely clear on pretty much the entirety of the flight. There is one jet stream that we're crossing right up here next to Kuwait, but that's in level 390, so not much of a problem for us, flying quite a bit lower. Now, the local airport weather is also looking quite good. Leipzig features excellent weather conditions, and Dubai as well, with the forecast, well, turning towards an easterly wind later in the afternoon, but basically clear skies. Now, our alternate in Dubai Al Maktoum is excellent in the forecast as well, so nothing to worry about. And an on-time departure at 4:55 means arriving 15 minutes ahead of schedule at cost NX30. We are not critical with any of our weight, starting in level 330, later on climbing to level 350. With all of that in mind, we are arriving outside of the typical rush hour in Dubai, and that really means we can simply go ahead and load as much or as little fuel as we want to. Now, 48.8 is our minimum, plus 500 taxi makes it 49.3. And here's one thing, if we add the final reserve plus the alternate, we only end up at 53 minutes, which is less than what you actually want to arrive with. You want to have at least an hour available. So let's add 700 kilos, which equals 7 minutes, and that brings us up to 50 tons of fuel, and that gives us exactly that arrival fuel that we are looking for. So we'll go down here into the precise loading, we'll take 50 tons of fuel, enter that, and now let's go ahead and start with our ground services. So catering is gonna come because, well, in Aerologic you actually have an app that you can use to order the type of catering that you want to have. So if I'm feeling I want pizza, then I'm gonna get pizza. So that's quite the cool thing, isn't it? Now, as catering is ordered, we can go ahead and order our cargo loading basically at the same time, because unlike in a passenger aircraft where you don't want to see it, where you don't want the passengers to see that they are working on your galley, in a cargo airplane it really doesn't matter. So let's start with our pre-flights then. Going down into the FMS. 777-200 freighter, G90-110 engine, nav database up to date. For the position in it, we'll copy and paste the GPS position, and then we are going to request our SimReef route. And while that's in progress, we can head right back up and start preparing our departure charts. So we got the airport charts down here, then we got the parking stands for apron 4, which is where we're parking on. And we want the Dresden 8 Quebec departure for our SID. Alright. So here's a route uplink, we can upload that already. Now, in order to make all my entries on the FMS, I am using a WinWing MCDU, which I've linked to the 777 using MobiFlight. And I'm just a huge fan of that because it makes it so much easier to make all my inputs down here. And honestly, the WinWing stuff is so incredibly cheap. I can absolutely recommend getting it. And no, they do not pay me to say that. Always worth mentioning, because there's always people suspecting that whenever you do any wholeheartedly meant recommendation. Alright, so VTAP for Charlie arrival into Dubai, ULDOT transition, and then we can have a very quick look, making sure that the route down here equals the route that we have filed, and that's all looking good. So let's do activate, execute. Then down into the legs page where we can cross-check our departure, which is straight at to Delta Papa 545, then a right turn to Topnu and then to Dresden, and that's exactly what we got down here as well. 2.8 is the MSA, and then we can go ahead do the wind data request, also the forecast request, and as we're on it already at ARTAT, we are going to climb to flight level 350 as a step climb, and that's added as well now. Good. So the winds should be here like any moment, and here they are. So let's go ahead and load that and execute, and the same for the forecast winds, load those as well, and here they are. So 2,674 miles for this first sector versus 2,679 miles. That's more than close enough. RadNav page is clear. Fixed page around Leipzig, 25-mile ring for MSA awareness. VNAV page, 5,000 transition altitude is correct. And then we can go ahead with our performance. So starting with the reserve fuel today, we got 3,000 plus 3,400, so 6.4 as our reserves. Cruising in level 330, cost index 30, minimum fuel temperature minus 44, cruise CG 30. And then on to the takeoff page, where we got noise abatement procedure 2 with the acceleration in 1500. That's totally fine, and with that we have completed the FMS for the time being. Cool, so flight deck setup, and up here everything's set. Up here we'll on the emergency lights, seatbelts coming on. Down here everything's done, including the lights. Up here everything's done as well. So moving on to the main panel. Checklists, reset all. Then comms, flight information, ATIS request, Leipzig. And we can send that. And while we're waiting for the answer, let's already proceed to the other side over here. Okay, so you're gonna go into hectopascals, auto brake into RTO. Park and brake can be set. We don't have any frequencies at this time yet, but gonna collect them in a few moments. And, well, nah, do we want the ANR? Not yet, huh? In cruise. So, 1 to 1.5 going into COM2. Like that. TCAS above, squawk 2000. And standby. And then here is our ATIS. So, Leipzig info November, runway 8 left right, 145 at 8, 12 degrees, 1015. Like that. Alright, cool. And what else do we have? Runway edge lights maybe dim, monitor closely during approach. Okay, that's fine. Clear that, and that was ATIS information November. So let's go ahead and do our departure clearance request. ATIS is November, our gate is 485. Facility will be Leipzig, and we'll just say hello. Alright, that's all looking good. Then let's go ahead and send our IFR clearance request. Might take a little while until that arrives anyway. And in the meantime, back to the charts so that we can find our frequencies. So, we don't need the ATIS, we've got that digitally. Delivery 12168 shouldn't be much of our concern. Ground 121.805, however, is very much of our concern. So let's put that active, and then we got the tower south on 121.105. Like that, pre-selected. Okay, cool, and that's all of our setup done. Then I suppose while we're waiting for the IRS alignment to complete, we might as well start our departure briefing. And look at that, alignment complete. That was quick. Cool. So then, nonetheless, let's start our departure briefing here. We're going off Leipzig today, runway 08 right, Dresden to Echo departure, initial climb, probably something about flight level 70-ish. We'll see whatever is going to be in the IFR clearance. MSA 2800 and extra fuel and time, we have 7 minutes in the form of 700 kilos. Now, from here back to our normal departure, no hotspots for taxi out, and we've got stop margin that is more than long enough. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles to pick up the holding, and if we need to make an immediate return, we are above the maximum landing weight, but nonetheless, both runways are long enough so that we can make an immediate return if needed. Now I've got nothing special, nothing non-standard over here. Threats for today's departure. We are flying through airspace class Echo, but it's dark. So anything that's flying, even if it's VFR, has to have a transponder operating, so we'll have them on TCAS. Therefore not too much of a problem. That's what I like about those early morning departures. Alright, I've got nothing special or non-standard, no threats, and nothing miscellaneous, so that's our departure briefing complete. Then, let's do the pre-flight checklist, please. Oxygen, tested 100%. Flight instruments, heading 261, altimeter 1015, reading 450. Set left, set right. Pre-flight checklist complete. Alrighty. So, looks like they still have a little bit of cargo to load over here. Probably because of the catering, that might have caused a little bit of a delay. Yeah, they're just starting with the last couple of containers right now. That's fine. Alright, cool. So, we did not actually receive any IFR clearance. I suppose then we'll just have to call for clearance by voice. That's a pity, but this does happen in the real world as well. Occasionally, at least. So, delivery is on 121.68. And we said we have information November. Leipzig delivery German cargo 514 heavy, information November, request IFR clearance to Dubai. Okay, he's working on it. Might just about have been asleep in his control tower. Happens. Even though it shouldn't. I've actually had a case in the real world.
Clear to Dubai via the Dresden 2 Echo departure, runway 8 right. Initial climb to flight level 070, departure on 120.84, squawk 3737.
German cargo 514 heavy, clear to Dubai via Dresden to Echo departure runway 08 right, climb flight level 70, departure on 120.84, squawk 3737. So, 08 right, Dresden to Echo, flight level 70, departure 120.
Read back correct. Ground will be on 121.805.
121.805, German cargo 514. Okay, so ground is on and tower is pre-selected. So 120.84 is pre-selected down there and squawk 3737.
German cargo 514, Leipzig ground.
Here we go. Nope, got nothing to say to you right now. Okay, cool. So that's our clearance confirmed, and then I suppose all we're waiting for now is our loading to complete, so I see you all when that is done. So we're removing the ground equipment on the right hand side and just about loading the last container on the left hand side. That means we're about ready to go down here. So let's already go back into our airplane and start working on the load sheet and start turning on the APU so that we can prepare to remove our ground power. Now, going down here, we've got a zero fuel weight of 229.6, and that's a gross weight of 279.6, which matches. Alright, so takeoff CG is 27. I'll just write that down as a quick reminder, and then let's go into the performance tool. Let's also go ahead and grab the ATIS, just to be sure we've got the latest stuff here. So we got Leipzig, runway 08 right. Our takeoff weight is 279.6. Well, suppose we are just going to calculate 280 tons down here. CG at 27. The wind is 145 at 8. Temperature 12 degrees and the QNH is 1015. The rest is on automatic, so that all looks good, and that's a takeoff 2 at 48 degrees. So we got takeoff 2 and 48, 83.9% and 1, and why is there that much of a difference? Takeoff 2, 48, and we got takeoff 2, 48. 84.2. Ah, because the temperature shows 4. What have I messed up? That I have messed up. Real life weather, please. Okay, that's better. 12 degrees, 85.4 and 85.4. See, that's why we do these checks, because you can mess up those things. Sensor might malfunction or something. So, flaps 5, 27, the CG, and the speed 676768. So we can simply copy-paste all of those. Beautiful. So, that's everything done down here. Then let's see if they are closing the doors or not. I sure hope they are. Well, GSX has the potential to mess this up, but I keep forgetting how to fix it. So, what we're going to do is quite simple. Doors, close all. That doing something? No, it's not. And I think I know why. So, service vehicles. This is where GSX fucks this up. So, release the main cargo. And now they should theoretically be closing. And they are. Great. So, external power can also be removed already. So, ground connection, release the ground power unit. Park and brake is set, remove the chocks. And I think with the chocks removed, that is once the door is closed when we can safely request pushback in GSX without it interfering with my cargo doors anymore. Such a pain. Really is. Okay, nonetheless, the door is closing down there, so let's see. It's showing closed now, and once it locks, it should also show closed. Here we go. Now it's closed. Alright, so just to be 100% sure, the chocks are removed. Yes, they are. Then let's go ahead and request pushback and departure, please. You don't touch anything anymore, GSX. Okay, cool. Ground from cockpit. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Alright, thanks. We'll get back to you in a moment. So, let's go to the back, quickly check that the cargo is properly secured. And this is looking good. Okay, close the door. And then we'll arm one left. And we'll arm one right. And with that, we are good to go. So, let's take a seat again. And then let's go ahead. So, ground flight, can we pressurize hydraulics? Yes, sir, you can pressurize. Thank you. 168, LNAV, VNAV. Runway heading 081, 7000 is in there. Okay. So, trim 5.25 units. Let's set those. And transponder alt off. Here we go. So, before start checklist, MCP V2168, heading 081, altitude 7000, takeoff speeds 167, 167, 168, CDU pre-flight completed, trims 5.25 units, 0 and 0, taxi and takeoff briefing completed, holding at the beacon. And with that, let's call for a pushback, please. Leipzig ground, German cargo 514 heavy, request pushback and startup.
German cargo 514, pushback and startup approved, face north.
Pushback and startup approved, facing north, German cargo 514. Okay, before start checklist is complete. Ground flight, pushback approved, face north, parking brakes is set. Okay, facing north, that means north right. Okay, release parking brake, please. Parking brake is released, and we are ready to start the engines at your command. Roger. So let's open up the parking charts over here so that we know where to go later on. Over here, 485 pushing to the north, then probably Victor and then something. We'll see about that. Okay, so ground flight, we're ready for engine start, and we'll begin with the left and then the right engine. Roger, clear to start left. Starting left. Left engine start. That looks and sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Looks like the sun will just about be coming over the horizon once we lift off our nose wheel. I'm looking forward to this flight. Okay, good start on the left engine, starting the right engine. Right engine start. Okay, pushback is completed. Set your brakes. Parking brake set. Roger, stand by. Alright, that looks like a good engine start. Wonderful. That did not look very healthy. Okay, we got 2 good engine starts. Please prepare the airplane for taxi. See you on the left side with a pin and have a good day. Bye-bye. So, still don't see the ramp agent, but let's start with the flight controls. If they are going to work, which they are not. Oh, lovely. Well, I created a new preset here because it did actually screw me around, so I suppose I quickly have to reassign them. So, search, that's going to be an elevator access. Down here. That looks good. And then we also need an aileron axis. Down here. See, that's why we do flight control tracks. Now in the real world, there may be something technical going on, but you can see how fast this can go. Also, there's our ramp agent running away. That's good. So let's try that again. Flight control track. Pull up. Full down, neutral. Full left. Full right, neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right, neutral. Before taxi checklist, RTIs, auto, recall, checked, flight controls, checked, ground equipment, clear, before taxi checklist complete. German Cargo 514 Heavy, request taxi.
German Cargo 514 unable, contact the appropriate controller for taxi instructions.
Okay. German Cargo 514 Heavy, request taxi. Yeah, all that switching on the ACP. I'll probably never get that right in the sim, but that's fine.
German Cargo 514, runway 8 right, taxi via Zulu 5.2, Victor Sierra 5, Tango Sierra 1.
German Cargo 514 Heavy, taxi to runway 08 right via Zulu 5, Victor Sierra 5, Tango Sierra 1. Alright, so Zulu 5, Victor, then I think it said Sierra 5, that's over here, and then Tango. Alright, cool. So, clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Lights are set, parking brake released, let's go. We do need quite a bit of power here, 30% to start moving, but I think we're slightly uphill as well. So, on to Victor until Sierra 5, and then we switch over to Tango. It's incredible how quiet it is over here, isn't it? I got the AI traffic set to somewhere like 5 or 6, I believe, so I suppose it's just Leipzig being Leipzig, not exactly the largest hub in the world. So, one of the refinement that Boris has done is the spooling of the GE sounds here, so excited to see what that's going to sound like, especially when we spool them up for takeoff later on. I'm sure that's going to be impressive. For now we continue up to Sierra 5, which is at the end of the apron. So probably somewhere over there, I suppose. So, quite a couple of 777s over here. Saw 767 as well already. There's definitely a lot of cargo getting moved around these days. Now, something I would appreciate for another Boris update would be some taxi sounds, and I just sent him a little message with a couple of wishes of myself here. So, with a bit of luck, he is going to actually work on those and improve those at some point. Okay, so I think that's Sierra 5 approaching over there. Yep, that is Sierra 5. And that turn gets us clear of the apron. Look at those 747s up there. Alright then, first left, and then we taxi to the full length. And that's looking fantastic. Alright then, so let's review the takeoff briefing. It's flaps 5 takeoff, runway 08 right, takeoff speeds 167, 167, 168. The SID is straight ahead, climbing level 70, contact departure as soon as we're airborne, and that is going to be on 120.84, which is pre-selected on VHF 3. I've got nothing special, nothing non-standard, emergency straight ahead 3000, MSA 2800, and we are above the maximum landing weight, but we can come back and re-land at any time, should that become necessary. Okay, and we got no threats. VFR is not going to be a problem today, and that's it. Questions? No? Lovely. Okay then, before takeoff checklist. And before takeoff checklist complete. So, we're cleared all the way to Sierra 1, which as far as I'm aware is the full length, but let's just have a look at the chart. Yep, Sierra 1 is the full length. Good. And that's right in front over there. Now, what do we have here? Look at that beauty. That's the Antonov 225, isn't it? I really hope they're going to rebuild her at some point, even though it's very unlikely. Lovely. Just lovely. Alright, so Sierra 1 is up to the right. Sierra 2 over here, Sierra 1 is one further. Are you ready for departure?
German Cargo 514, contact tower on 121.105, Guten Flug.
121.105, German Cargo 514. Tschüss. Leipzig Tower, German Cargo 514 Heavy, ready for departure. Why is that stop bar green? That's supposed to be red.
German Cargo 514, Heavy, Leipzig Tower. Runway 08 right, winds 140 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff, German Cargo 514 Heavy. So, departure is pre-selected. Okay, we're clear on the left, and we are clear on the right. We can both go on weather over here, that's easy. And then, if you're ready, take off.
On runway.
Now listen to this.
08 right.
Thrust set.
89.
Tracked. Gear up.
German Cargo 514, contact departure on 120.84.
120.84, German Cargo 514. München radar, German Cargo 514 Heavy, passing 1,900, climbing.
German Cargo 514, heavy Leipzig departure identified, climb flight level 070.
Climb flight level 70, German Cargo 514. Flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1. And flap 0. Speed checked. Flaps 0.
German Cargo 514, climb flight level 200.
Climbing flight level 200, German Cargo 514. So, flaps are up, and after takeoff checklist, please. After takeoff checklist complete. Alright, beautiful. I really like this. The visuals are just looking amazing over here. Beautiful sunrise departure. Especially when you consider the lights of the city and stuff over there. That's just fantastic, isn't it? And look how well she flies manually. I just love it. There's really a lot of good things coming together right now. Set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 52. Now, checked. So So let's try and fly those 250 knots accurately. Like flight instructors often say, if you can fly 254 accurately, then you can also fly 250 accurately. And they would probably be right with that. So once the turn is complete, we'll put the autopilot on. Because let's admit it, flying straight ahead is not a challenge. Here we go. Autopilot. Now, let's ask the important question. Are we on time? 10:52, 1100 is the schedule. We are on time. 8.7 and the reserves are 6.4, so we have about 20 minutes extra. That's absolutely what we needed. Climbing flight level 250, German cargo 514. Set, 250 checked. Okay, so, what did I just want to look up? That one. Optimum 333, recommended 350. Yeah, that's a little bit high, isn't it? Probably rather go for 330 first, then in 900 miles we have a fast step climb. We'll see if we're going to wait that long or if we're going to do something else, but I think level 330 is a good level for us for the time being. Okay, and with that we are off from Leipzig and heading towards Dubai as the first part of our 4-sector flight. Passing 10,000 then, let's go ahead and turn those lights off, signs off. That way our cruise relief pilot is also allowed to stand up. Well, and then I would say sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us. And I see you all when we start our approach into Dubai. passing 12,800, descending 11,000, information Mike. So, we're getting there.
German cargo 514 heavy, Manhattan approach identified. Good afternoon, Dubai, QNH 1012, cleared UL dot transition. Expect the ILS runway 30 left approach into Dubai.
QNH 1012, expect the ILS 30 left into Dubai, German cargo 514. Okay.
601 contact Dubai Tower.
Excellent, we are going to do this Now, we're currently following the, or just about entering the VTEP for Charlie arrival, expecting the ULDA transition for an ILS approach into runway 30 left here in Dubai. ATC has cancelled our speed restrictions for the time being, so we can keep it a little bit faster than usual here. I'll actually go speed an event towards 280, like that. Okay, so, passing 12,000, let's put the seatbelt sign on, and you can put your sun visor away. The sun is up already.
Heavy speed 230 knots.
Speed 230, German cargo 514 heavy. Okay, here we go. Speed is coming back towards 230. Now, let's have a look into the arrival and what we have calculated. So, starting with a couple of the basics, since we don't do cargo operations into Dubai too often, we are landing on 30 left, vacating most likely on Kilo 6. The taxi is then going to be via Kilo, all the way across, to Concourse Delta. Actually, no, even further. Down here, Zulu 1, to that cargo terminal over here. If we have a look into the parking chart, we can see that nicely. Parking down here on Charlie 45 or Charlie 46, either one of the two. So that means we can do a long landing if ATC approves it, otherwise we have to vacate the runway early, which is more likely because of the amount of traffic they have here in Dubai. Okay, that much for some basics. Then let's go ahead and talk about the approach briefing. So, over to the right-hand seat, please, and off we go.
Etihad 1 Sierra X-ray contact UAE center on 128.125.
Okay, so we are going to fly an ILS approach onto runway 30 left. The MSA is 3,800, and we've got nothing out of the ordinary over here. Radar vectors can be expected with a shortcut, but for the time being we've got a speed, we've got an altitude, so there isn't very much we can do about this either way. Now, minimum is 260, go around slight left turn, as you can already see down here, climbing to an altitude of 3,000 feet. Extra fuel and time, arriving with 7.4, the minimum is 6.4, so that leaves us with 10 minutes extra, plus whatever we are going to save from a possible shortcut. Alright, thank you very much for that. Now we are going to fly an ILS approach with radar vectors, flight director guidance, flaps 30, auto brakes 1, vacate the runway to the left hand side, most likely via the second rapid exit taxiway, but we'll decide on that when we get some closer. Well, rather, depending on how long we flare. Stop margin for the landing is about 1,500 meters, and we are going to vacate the runway to the left. We've already briefly talked.
Descend altitude 8,000.
Descend altitude 8,000, jump cargo 514. Set, 8,000 checked, level change. So we've already briefly talked about the taxi-in, and in terms of hotspots, I don't really have any, do you? No? Okay, beautiful. So then, nothing special, nothing non-standard, and threats, I do not see any threats, to be honest. Any questions? No? Okay, lovely, then that's our approach briefing completed. Okay, with all of that out of the way, we are finally getting a lovely view on Dubai down here. I mean, look at this. You can see the world over there, the palm. And of course, I think that one over here is the airport. So, passing 10,000. Lights, signs, approach checklist. Altimeters, QNH 1012, approach checklist complete. Alrighty, so vertical speed minus 1,000. Over here in Dubai, I'm always a little bit relaxed with the altitudes, but make sure that you do not exceed the 3-2-1 rule. So maximum 3,000 feet a minute when you got 3,000 to go, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000. The reason it's...
Cargo 514, descend altitude 7,000.
Descent altitude 7,000, German cargo 514. Set, 7,000 checked. The reason this is so important over here in Dubai is because of all the traffic that you can find here in the area. Now, if we turn the TCAS into below, we might see a little bit more. So the huge problem is that the TCAS resolution advisory can trigger even though you are legally correctly separated if you are flying at a quick vertical speed. And due to the amount of traffic that you would normally find here in Dubai, I'm saying normally because we are somewhat arriving in the low peak hours right now. All the long hauls heading to Europe are gone already, those to Asia are long gone already, and the next wave is going to depart only in an hour or two. So right now it's easy going, easy coming in. And that's 1,000 to go. Checked. So that's the Burj Khalifa over there, as far as I'm aware. Burj Al Arab, the famous one, is somewhere over there. Oh yeah, there it is. Just always an amazing sight to fly into. I would kinda wish for the sim to load all the buildings a little bit earlier, but yeah, I suppose we gotta save ourselves a little bit of performance as well, do we? I just love this view. I so love it. I think I'm saying that every time that we're flying into Dubai, but it's just true. It's really just true. So, Burj Al Arab, Burj Khalifa, and that, by the way, is also the reason for the high MSA, because the entire rest of the land is just flat over here, but those skyscrapers going up to like 3,000 feet, is it? Actually, no, not quite, but let's see what the chart says. RLS 30 left, 2,726 feet. I told you that thing is high. Not quite 3,000, but man. That's still higher than the average dentist flies that Cessna. Okay then, heading 120. We can always hope that we're going to get a shortcut. I'm actually fairly sure we will. And you can have your sunshades that way. The sun isn't that blazing. Even though at this point we would absolutely be sitting here with sunglasses on. So, Sharjah on the left. I think Lufthansa Cargo flew there at some point. It's interesting. The Lufthansa group has really pretty much flown, or is flying, to every one of those Dubai airports. So, Sharjah used to be a destination back in the MD-11 days. Now you've got Aerologic flying to Dubai, like the big passenger Dubai. And then you also have Lufthansa Cargo flying to Al Maktoum. Okay, so we could easily be getting descent any moment. Cosmodus that one down here is basically the final approach fix. So I'd say latest the beam set po. I would be expecting a descent if there is like nothing happening, like is the case right now.
Emirates 70 Mike, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000.
German cargo 514 is ready to turn base anytime. Let's see what the AI is going to make of that. Just a gentle hint. But that sounds like the AI makes nothing of that at all. Okay, it was worth a try. German cargo 514 requests radar vectors to final. Ooh, that's an interesting lag. Look at that, frame rate is down to 1. And here it is again.
German cargo 514, something went wrong on this end and I wasn't able to do the math on the vectoring approach. This has been reported as bug, but you'll need to get yourself to the approach fix.
Thank you very much. Turning final, German cargo 514. Okay, lovely. So, thrust, heading select, level change, down towards 2000. Let's also get that speed down, flaps 1. 13 miles to the final, so we will definitely have to convince the airplane to do this. Okay, extend the centerline out of set po, please. Execute. Flaps 5. Speed checked. I told you this might eventually go quick. Alright, heading 270, cleared ILS approach, and we have localizer capture.
German cargo 514, heavy direct SEDPO, descend altitude 2000. Cleared for the ILS runway 30 left approach, UL dot transition.
Direct SETPO, cleared ILS 30 left, German cargo 514 heavy. Okay, 13 miles, that glide slope looks about correct. When you're intercepting from above, you always got to be careful that you do not accidentally intercept a side lobe. But this is looking quite good here.
German cargo 514, contact Dubai Tower on 118.75 at 6 DME.
118.75, German cargo 514. Last loop capture. Speed brakes retracted and go around altitude 3000 cent. Dubai Tower, German cargo 514 heavy, established ILS 30 left. Alright, let's have some fun.
German cargo 514 heavy, Dubai Tower. Roger, continue approach runway 30 left.
Continue approach 30 left, German cargo 514 heavy. Okay, so let's make it a good one. Three pilots on a rotation like this, 4 landings. One will have to get the ability to try it twice. Let's try not to be the one who has to ask for it because of some false pride, because we fucked up ours.
2500.
Terrain noted. Alright.
German cargo
Gear down,
514
flaps 20.
heavy, winds 330 at 10. Runway 30 left, clear to land.
Runway 30 left, clear to land. German cargo 514 heading. Flaps 30. Speed checked. Flaps 30. Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Checklist complete. Ooh, a little downdraft here. Look at how much speed we lost and how much thrust we need. You can definitely feel the temperature here. 31 degrees according to the gauges, and yep, it definitely feels like those as well.
1,000.
Checked. So, I've recently set my turbulence sliders to realistic again, and I have to say with heavy aircraft it actually feels quite okay. You have to do a little bit of work here, even though general aviation aircraft generally become unflyable with realistic turbulence. For the wide bodies it seems quite good.
0 left.
$500.
Checked. So we're almost stabilized.
Minimums.
Checked.
2 minimums.
Continue.
$100.
On the puppy.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Speed break up. Thruster is normal. So here's the first rapid exit taxiway. Manual brakes.
500 meters remaining.
Man, disengaging the auto brake is somewhat ugly in the PMDGs.
200 remaining.
Okay, here we go. 5 hours 30 and we are done with our first sector. Then we'll turn right on Kilo pretty much straight away.
German cargo 514. Contact ground on 118.35.
118.35, German cargo 514. Okay, would you be so kind to tune that, please? Dubai ground, German cargo 514 heavy, request taxi to gauge Charlie 45.
German cargo 514, taxi to apron. Charlie cargo C45 via Kilo, Zulu 6, Zulu, Zulu 1. Good day.
German Cargo 514, taxi to gate Charlie 45 via Kilo Zulu 6 Zulu Zulu 1.
Emirates 7 Victor request push and start clearance.
Emirates 7 Victor, pushback approved.
Okay, Zulu 6 is over here at the end of the runway, and then Zulu all the way straight ahead to the end.
829er request push and start clearance.
Sky Dubai 829er.
Okay, easy going. That was a successful first sector.
Push and start approved. Sky Dubai 829er.
I just love how easy it is to land the
Sky
777.
Dubai
Flies
897.
really nicely.
Contact tower on 118.75.
Over to tower, Sky Dubai 897.
She also trims really well. Really gotta give her that. So here we are, 30 knots. Then let's find GSX, gate, Charlie, 45. No follow me required. Thank you very much.
Runway 30 right taxi via Papa Niner, November.
Alright, lovely. So Charlie 6 should be coming up next. Where is it? Are we at the runway end already? Yeah, Zulu 6 is coming up.
1 Lima Juliet request push and start clearance.
Emirates 1 Lima Juliet, pushback approved.
I'm definitely keeping her fast over here
Emirates 1 Lima Juliet.
because, well, scheduled on-block is in 10 minutes and we want to be sure that we are not late.
829er, runway 30 right taxi via Papa.
Aerologic is one of those
November,
airlines that
November 12.
really focus on being
Runway
on
30
time.
right taxi via Papa. Papa Niner. November
So we
12,
absolutely
Sky
want
Dubai
to do
829er.
that same thing as well.
Airfield 7.
Okay then, so the left side is clear and the right side is clear, then we keep
Runway
going
30
straight
right
ahead.
taxi via Tango. Mike M15R.
Runway 30 right taxi via Tango Mike M15A Airfield.
Those 30 knots here are working really well. We are pretty heavy today,
Hotel, contact tower on 118.
but I think we can shut down the right engine
Over to tower,
nonetheless.
Sky Dubai 7 Victor Hotel.
Engine shutdown right is checked.
Emirates 1 Lima Juliet, runway 30 right taxi via uniform Whiskey Kilo 7.
Okay, so that's the cargo complex over there.
Then M10B, Mike M15A.
Straight ahead all the way Zulu and then a little bit to the left and into Charlie 45.
Whiskey Kilo 7, hold short of runway 12 right, then M10B, Mike M15A, Emirates 1 Lima Juliet.
Sky Dubai 15, Lima contact tower on
Well,
118.
we must be going slightly
7
downhill over here. Look at how the airplane still keeps its speed, even though we're just on a single engine right now. I like that.
Emirates 7 Victor contact tower on 118.75.
Okay, so reaching Zulu 1, we'll make a slight left turn, start APU. And Charlie 45 is that gate over here. So here it is, Charlie 45, lights off. Okay, 777L is on the guidance system. Why did that stupid thing just go too far? No comment. GSX, horrible. Okay, so park and brake is set. Where's the APU? About ready. Good. I started it a slight bit too late. I can accept that. So, waiting for APU running. Here we go, 100% APU running.
Sky Dubai 829er contact tower on 118.75.
Alrighty, here we are.
Switching to tower, Sky Dubai 829er.
Flight from ground, hello. Hi, it's the flight deck. So, your trucks are in position, you can release the parking brake, and ground power is available now as well. Thank you very much, and the parking brake is released. We are going to keep the APU running, and then we see you up here in a minute. So, shutdown checklist, parking brake released, shutdown checklist complete. Alright, let's go ahead and unlock those doors. So that's two, well, one right disarmed and one left is disarmed, and we are gonna open that one as well. Cargo looks normal, so they can open the door without any problems. Lovely. So, deboarding is requested. All of this good stuff is done down here. Then let's do the post-flight stuff. So, oil quantities are good, and hydraulic quantities are still good. APU will stay running, and that's it. Okay, cool. That's our first sector completed. Then let's go ahead and unload some of the cargo over here. We are also going to take on some new one on the way on to Hong Kong, which is going to be the next sector. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this first one. Be sure to chime in again for the second. And with that out of the way, thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and then I'm looking forward to see you all again right on the next one.